So this is where you would go to log in. Let me make sure. So if you should have gotten an email with your login information and the URL, and it will take you to this screen. So this is actually what you want to do. It already has the school logged into it. So you would just enter your username. Sorry, I'm using a made up account, so I'm having to check that. So then you'll log in, just your username and password that was sent to you. If you don't have it, just message in the chat and we will get you set up with that. And you'll see once you land on the page, it takes you to your student page. So if you only have one student, this would be, the only page you would have other than your own. And then there's all the announcements for the schools and the teachers that they have. If you click on the down arrow next to your student's name, you'll see that in my case, I have me, John Smith, and then I have two daughters, one in elementary and one in secondary. So it, by default, went to the elementary student, and we can see, anything that's been posted. You can see her homeroom teacher posted a message. For these made up courses, I just have one for the elementary, and that's the homeroom, so that's why you're only seeing that. But then you get, school-wide updates on this page. We go to the secondary, there's a little bit more on there. So kind of the same thing. You'll see the school-wide announcements and then individual teacher updates. So it's kind of a one-stop for, what's going on, and you can see the days that it was posted. So today, in the STEAM class, they have their update as well as in, integrated science. So as a parent, you can just come here, look at this page and see what's going on. Over on the right here, you can see things that are upcoming. We got, September 15th homework, Beats Builder in the STEAM class, and Sculpty Pet in the STEAM class. So just some things to look at. And then you can dive deeper into these courses by clicking on courses, and you'll see 3 courses they have. So if we looked at STEAM, it will take you just to the updates page for that class. And so each teacher is required to post updates for their classes by 8 a.m. that day. So you should have, something on the updates if they have the class that day. And so this just narrows it down to that class of updates, what you were seeing before. And then if you click on materials, it gives you a lot more information. You can see, just for this student, this is where they would find their Fuse login information. And then, their STEAM assignments, and then you would see the course syllabus and information. And then each teacher will have a Zoom link for their meetings with the class within their materials. And I think they'll post them in the updates as well. And so we can, you can look through this course, or look at a couple more just to see what they're all kind of laid out in the same basic fashion. They should all take you to the updates page first, so you can see exactly what's going on. And you'll see Miss Thomas has a scheduled Zoom meeting, and she's put in the link here, and then some materials that might be used. And then under materials, she has all her units laid out so that the kids know exactly where they need to go for it. And then you have your course information. So course outlines, rubrics, if they have them for their assignments, could be in the course information. They could also have them inside of each unit with the actual assignments. But for this one, it's like a lab report. So it's probably, the same rubric for all of the labs. And then just some things like getting library books, and then you can, I guess they're probably not unit 3 yet, but dive into these different units and see what they have. So she has hers broken down with the different homeworks for each day that there was a class, some tools that the students can use to review, and then just different documents and resources that they would that they need for the class or for the homework. And then you'll see it's the same even across English. You get your updates with what's going on, the learning outcomes, and then in materials you'll have the course document, so that would be the course outlines and things like that, and then all the different units and books that they're going over. So that's kind of the gist of the two students. You also have a calendar, and so you can see on the calendar that all the assignments are broken down for when they were due. And you can, well, usually you can click on it and it'll give you a little bit more information, but for some reason we're getting, there it goes. So you can see more about the assignment just by clicking on the calendar links. And so this calendar, it pulls together from all of their courses. So this is kind of a one stop to see, like, are they have a lot of things to do that week, or, is there a test coming up, or what's going on? It'll all be right here. And you can also just filter that down to week and day. So you'll see it's the same on the elementary side. They just might not have as much on here because I just added one class. Yeah. So, and they can also add like personal things on the calendar. The orange is the groups, and then if the school, has an event or something, they could put that in. And then as your parent account would be the one at the top, and you would click on that, and that just takes you to kind of the same dashboard, except you don't get the courses because you're not enrolled in any courses. So you'll just get the school-wide updates, and then you'll have a calendar too, and it would just have really, I think any school-wide things would show up on there. You can send messages, to the teachers from here. And then you can also go down to settings, and this is where you would change your notification. So if you don't want to get, emails every day, or if you do want to get emails every day, that would all be here. So if you want to know when, the course update was posted, you could turn that on, and then you'll get an email so you know that, your child's science class has posted the update, and they can begin working. And then you can, if you want a lot of updates, you can click them on more. Content was created. If something's overdue, you could turn that on. I just haven't turned it in by the due date. And then some of these we're not going to have groups. And then you can set it for school updates. And then by default, if the school sends out a weekly digest on Fridays that kind of brings everything together and just sends one message a week to you, updating what's been going on in the courses. I think that's pretty much it for the overview of it. We can just move on to questions, because I feel like that's where most of the time is usually spent. Khalil, did I miss anything?
No. On the chat, there's a mom saying that there is a parent on hold on for this Zoom, so probably it's already taken care of. But regarding Schoology, I think you have mentioned everything. I was looking for the area where parents can choose to have daily digest or weekly digest. Let me get back to you on that.
Okay. All right. Anybody have any questions? Either put them in the chat or if you want to just unmute. Is everybody able to log in? Anybody having issues logging in? I see a question. Is there a way to get notifications for the updates on the calendars? The calendar just pulls from the courses. So if you have it set for, you know, a new course material or a new assignment, you should be able to just turn that on from the course comments on updates, assignments, or discussion. So if you turn that on, if there was a new assignment, it would give you that alert, because once it's added there, it gets added to the calendar. Any other questions?
Jason, can I invite you to go back to the top right corner of the screen on Schoology?
Yeah.
And there is settings right before logout. Yep. Okay. I have selected, instead of selecting John Smith as the father, can you select either one of the children?
Yeah.
Like so go back again to settings, and it brings you to another set of settings. Here you go, it changed. Can you switch to notification tab? An email summary is set to off. If you set it to on, there you can choose on a weekly basis whether you receive only on Friday 5 p.m. a digest of the whole week, what happened, overdue permissions, and everything that happened during this week up to Friday. If you choose to have a daily digest at 5 p.m., you can do so, but it will be for Natalie Smith, for that child that has been chosen. If you select the second child, it will be different. And then again, you have to select settings again. Was I correct? So the setting is, the setting follows the child that whether you would like a daily digest or weekly digest. For all parents at RAS, we have chosen the weekly digest because many parents have provided a work email, not necessarily a separate personal email dedicated for communication between RAS and parents. And we didn't want to send too much emails through our system, but it's a personal choice to have a daily digest and weekly digest. Our preference is that you receive a weekly digest and have your parenting role, work with your children at home, and just log in and see what happened during class. But you don't have to be overloaded by emails, because at some point you will not be able to read all of them. Any question?
All right. We still have people signing in. So that's kind of the basic overview of Schoology and how you can use it. If you don't have any questions and you know, and something comes up later, you can feel free to message us. You just message either on, you know, help desk, or you could email me.
I have another suggestion, Jason.
Okay.
Right now, you're viewing as either one of the children. Can you switch back to your parent profile? Next to the calendar icon, now we can see it's direct messaging. It's not really email. And here you can direct message either a teacher, and you will receive a copy, and he will receive a copy by email.
And you can add files, links, resources. So if you wanted to email the science teacher, Ms. Thomas, you could put this in here and she'd get the message inside of her Schoology. And if anybody has any questions, I mean, in French or Arabic, feel free to ask. Who can help you. I know some people just signed in within the last 5 minutes. If everybody doesn't have questions, we can, you know, you can feel free to go. And if something comes up later, and then if you just signed in, we can just go back through everything again if you'd like. If that works for everybody, I'll just I'll sign out and we can just walk through it again.
Can I write supportation if you want? I don't think it's the word. What I want.
I'll put this here. This is that's not where that was supposed to go. That's the link for you to log in, and everybody should have gotten one, but it'll bring you to a screen that looks like this. And then you just enter the username and the password that was provided to you in that email. And then you'll sign in.
What?
Oh wait, I didn't go the right one. Sorry. So you'll see this link doesn't have a school, so you have to, you know, you would have to go in and pick the school. But the link that I provided takes you right to the Rabat American School. And then you log in. So like I had said, so once you log in, it takes you to one of your students' pages if you have more than one. So you'll see at the top, I am viewing as Natalie Smith. And then if I click on this arrow, you'll see I have 2 daughters in this school, and my name is John Smith. And from the main page, you'll see just the updates in the school and for Natalie's teachers. So her science class has their daily update here, her STEAM class, the English class down here. So it kind of gives you an overview of all the updates in order, or you can, you know, filter them that way by comments or, and then upcoming events on the right. So this is just kind of the overview of what's going on in her school, in her Schoology pages. And then if you click on courses, this is where it'll break it down to the individual courses. So this is not a real student, so I've just added a few courses. But you'll see if she wanted to check on her English, you could click the English language and it will take you to her English page, and it by default takes you to the updates. So this just breaks down that page we saw before, but just for English. And so you'll see it has, you know, this update for the day, the learning outcome, and then what they'll be doing. So from there, you can click on materials, and then that's where it takes you in to more of the details of the class. So you'll see at the top, each class should have like a course outline, a course overview. So that's all located here, and you'll see these PDFs. If you click on them, they just open up within the Schoology page, and it'll load. And then you could, you know, click next just to go to the next one in the folder. And then these each house different things. So language tools has a folder for vocabulary, To Kill a Mockingbird, and A Raisin in the Sun. And each course has its own, but they're set up essentially the same way. Starts by going to updates, and then the materials kind of break everything down. So you'll see the science class, she already has all of the units for the whole year put in, but there's nothing in these folders yet. So you kind of see everything they're going to do, and then just the homework for those units, and then the course information. And then again, off to the side has upcoming events, but this just relates to the course. You can click on that little calendar tab, and it will give you all the homework for this class. This calendar up here, when you select it, 1 second, it's going to bring up all of the assignments for all of her classes. So if you want to see like the big picture of everything that, you know, she's got going on in her life at school, you can click up here. If you're just wanting to check in on, you know, a certain English assignment when it's due, you could just come in and click on that calendar right here, next upcoming, and it'll just show you the things that they had. And then you can click on each one and you can see what the actual assignment is. And if you want to see more about it, not just a brief overview, you can click on View Item, and it will take you to the assignment. So you'll see it here. And then you can switch kids, and it'll tell you which one you're on at the top. Megan is just in elementary, so you'll see the same school updates as well as her classroom. And I only have her in one class, so that's why you're only seeing her homeroom, but she has all the same school-wide. But if we click on her course, you'll see that even in elementary, they're essentially set up the same way. You'll find the Zoom details in there, class information, and then all the assignments and folders for they will need in the course. And then at the top would be your parent account. So you can click on that. And then that just gives you the same kind of overview of updates. And, you know, you have a calendar you can, you know, post events to if you want to add your own. Or you can look at the calendar of events that the school has. And there's nothing on this calendar, but here is where you'd see like school-wide events. So if there's, you know, maybe a student student parent teacher meetings, you know, that might show up on here. Once we're back to having athletic events, you know, that you might see some of those on here. And then you can go down to your settings. And this is where you can change, you know, the default page you want it to start on, so, or your notifications. And so you can have as many notifications as you want. You know, if you want to know when a course update was posted, you can turn that on. If you want to see when people comment on the updates or assignments, turn that on. And I think by default, most of them are off, but it really is your personal preference on how many updates you would like to get. And I think those are just settings. And then under each student, you have your own individual settings. So if you go to a student, you could change certain settings there for notifications. So if you came on the end of the last one, this is where you would set up, you get a parent email digest. So by default at RAS, we have it set up for once a week on Fridays at 5. You'll get an email just kind of summarizing the week. But that's up to you. I mean, if you wanted it to be daily at 5, you could set that up. If you wanted it changed to, I want it weekly on Mondays, you know, you can set that up here. And then if you want overdue submission emails, you can turn that on here, hit save, and then you should be getting emails on Mondays at 5 instead of Sundays or Fridays, sorry. But again, that's a overview of Schoology and how it works. If you have any questions, let me know. Yeah, the students will have their courses, they'll be enrolled in their courses automatically. You don't have to do anything for that. If for some reason you're not seeing one of your students underneath your name, let us know and we'll make sure that they get added to you. We just need to make that connection. All the students have Schoology pages, but sometimes if they're new or something, that the link hasn't been made between the parent and the student in here. But you let us know and we'll fix that. And if anybody has any questions or trouble logging in, you can message in the chat and we'll make sure you have your right username and password. Or if you just have any questions in general on Schoology, or let us know. No questions? All right. If you think of anything, you know, feel free to message me. I'll put my email in the chat, and we'll help you get it sorted out or fixed if it's a login issue or if you need a student added to you. That's my email. You can also you can send it to helpdesk, RAS.MA. Either one of those, and we'll get to you. Help desk goes to everybody in the office, but this one just goes to me. So if there's no questions, thanks for coming. I'll probably do another short one for Power School. I'll send out the login information for that this week, hopefully before the end of the week. And then maybe next week or the following week, I'll send out an invite for a Zoom on how to use Power School. And Power School is just where the grades will be going in, and attendance and you get your report cards through there. So not a big hurry on figuring that out. Schoology is more the important day-to-day. That's where you can help your child find out what they need to do and help them get their schoolwork done. So, but yeah, so just look forward to that in the next week or two. We'll do a Zoom for another parent academy for Power School. But if no more questions, then thanks for coming, and I'll see you guys at the next Power or next Parent Academy.